What do we got here for Polaris? I mean, maybe just another pause 4. You could go for the mid matchup now if you're confident that it's going to be the mid laner. Could still be a support laner as well, so that's not really out of the question yet either. Though, to be fair, we really haven't seen any support laner. As of late, it's always been in the mid lane.
I think for Polaris, they have the option to flex the silencer as a core, actually. It feels like mid silencer could be one way to handle Lina. Just keep spamming out the Arcane Curse. Lina can spam her spells out efficiently, and you can kind of deal with it. It's not ideal, I don't think, but I remember you being a big fan of mid silencer, Mike, so kind of
I
fits
mean,
the matchup if you want to go that route.
what do you mean big fan of mid silencer? I hated mid silencer. I said it was a good idea, but I did hate the idea of it. In fact, there's something I love, John. Axe comes out. Now, is it a good hero? Not necessarily, but I do like it. One of my favorites.
It is a fun hero. It
Yeah.
gives Polaris a lot of really good engagement now. They have a great blink in from the axe. They have the silencer for follow-up control. They can play with a big blink call into the Wukongs. They have a lot of ways of keeping people in there and just bursting them down. Execration don't have saves against the axe. In fact, there's no real save against the axe. And Polaris go with a Wind Ranger. So it's looking like
What is this
Wind
draft?
Ranger mid. I mean, they could run support Wind Ranger for Boomy and a Silencer 5, run the Natsumi Monkey King, the Axe offlane, and something else mid. So it's pretty flexible for Polaris. It's not quite locked in here.
Let's see what happens. I mean, this Wind Ranger pick always makes me question what the hell we're even looking at. Execration, they're going to go down the Ursa route. So, very kind of stock standard style of draft, very lane dominant. The kind of draft you want to see if a team just needs to pick up a win for the night. You do have the Empower as well with the Ursa, so you're going to have that nice farming ability from your Magnus. Is it really going to be another mid Wind Ranger today? Is this a hero that's actually making a bit of a comeback? Surely it's just a pause 4. Like with the axe, it's kind of good. You know, you battle hunger the Bane, you chase him down with Wind Run, you just slowly chip away at the Bane's HP.
Yeah, I can see that duo being really strong for Polaris. Very hard for the Ursa to kind of run against. The mid Wind Ranger does make sense against Alina. Like, you can dodge out the spells with a Wind Run, just run around, dodge the right clicks as well, just clear out the wave with Power Shot. It's not amazing wave clear, mind you. Not until you're talent, and that's way down the line. So the farming rate for the Wind Ranger is not going to be as quick, which is why I think I'd prefer something else mid. Does look like Execration. They're expecting the Monkey King to be support. They are banning out bigger cores for Natsumi, expecting probably Boomy to play Monkey King. I don't feel like we've seen Boomy play too much Monkey King, but to an extent it does fit his playstyle, right? Like, we see it with the Shaker, with his Magnus on support, and with his Undying last game. He does like building up a little bit more, going for bigger items on a pause 4, going a bit greedy. Monkey King can benefit from that. You can rush something like a Mage Slayer, try to build up that way, get some damage off in that sense, or you could just go Echo Saber as a support, as a greedy support. That could still work as well for the Monkey King. So I can see why Execration are expecting that, but they do ban out the puck as well. So respecting the flexibility on hand here from Polaris and just ensuring that Bob has a bit of a better time on mid.
Okay. Final pickup, we'll see if there is going to be another mid lane coming out from Polaris or whether they're actually running a mid Wind Ranger here. I still don't think it's great against the mid laner, but you know, you never know. Everything's still very, very open here from Polaris. At least Execration don't seem to think they are going to be running the pos 2 Wind Ranger. Do demand out the puck just in case. Polaris, what do we want? And Kunk is still available if you want to go down that route. Nothing really beats Lina mid, I'd say confidently that Lina should just win out the mid lane. Never mind, they've got a TA. I suppose that is one hero that kind of just wins because you go to the jungle, you catch up in farm. The mid lane just never happened.
Yeah, you can just build up. We have seen Mac play that TA quite effectively before. So it is a hero that he can play quite well. There is the potential for Natsumi to play it and still run the mid Wind Ranger here for Mac, but I feel like that would be a bit of a stretch. So we'll see what the decision. Okay, Execration, they go to Batrider to just kind of ensure that the TA is not going to have a good time, and they swap it. Natsumi will take that TA safely, and Mac will take the Wind Ranger mid. They had the flex on hand, and they managed to make it work. BDZ takes the Lina, so it's to support Lina. Batrider versus Wind Ranger. It's still not amazing for Wind Ranger, but you're not harassing out the TA, so Natsumi on the safe lane should have a good time, unless Bob decides to lane swap here.
I mean, he certainly could. I feel like they'll just still throw the bat in the mid lane, just still have that advantage over Natsumi later on with the Firefly just burning through the refraction charges. What I'm more curious about is how this mid lane matchup is going to go now between Mac and Bob, considering we have a very awkward Wind Ranger versus Batrider matchup. Something you don't get to see every day. Should still be Batrider favored, I'd say.
It's not as easy for Batrider to overwhelm the Wind Ranger, because Wind Run's there. So you will slow the turn rate, but the move speed of Mac is still going to be pretty good with Wind Run up, and he can still kind of run away from the Firefly. So I don't think it's a complete washout there for Polaris. They should still be able to play. I do think draft-wise, Polaris does have really good scaling. With that TA up, with a Monkey King as well on support, they can get a lot of vision out. And for Execration, they're banking on the Ursa. There's still an issue of kiting. There's an issue of scaling. It might end up, if the game goes too long, the pressure's going to be on Tino and Bob to get that control off.
Okay, we'll get into it, John. Final game of the night. Execration, Polaris. More to go. Bob will give the good luck over.
For battle.
Oh, they spell it out all the way, John. No GL, just actual good luck. Very good. Mac's a bit lazy, though. He's not going to go that far.
Yeah, they've turned off the banter. It's serious mode.
No,
well, I say that, and Tino comes in with something. Who's Charmaine?
I'm assuming CML, based off the tips.
Oh, there it goes.
Uh-oh.
Okay, CML.
Yeah, it was all a bait. Light Striker Ace going to be there. That should be first blood, and Tino's going to take on the mag. That's a nice pickup onto the target of the all chat. Very poetic.
CML did call them, it's even called them big-headed, full of themselves. And now Tino's saying together. And so they were asking if it's Charmaine or Camille, and Tino says, I think both of them at the same time.
The old Monkey King running to the dire base. He didn't get any couriers though, which is a bit upsetting. I think he left a bit too early and didn't realize the couriers were coming out.
Yeah, would have been a nice snipe.
Nice courier though from our Monkey King. Looks very nice.
Oh yeah, that's what is that? Is that a TI courier still? And the whacking away, Looney does manage to snag it, so it does end up being a 3-for-1 bounty.
Not yet, John. CML, you just died, CML.
Oh, no.
And the old chat continues.
Poor CML. Good start for Execration. Definitely putting the pedal to the metal here, as they have gotten 2 kills in a row. So I don't know. Maybe this is a big brain play by CML. Now he had 3 TPs. He has 2 left. So he's all right with that, right? Like they get 3 bounty runes in exchange. He gets multiple TPs. He's kind of okay with that. It's an idealistic way of looking at it. Still, lanes break out here. Mike CML is going to be hanging around with Nico on the axe. Battle Hungry skilled Frisk just harassing out RR. And that is something the Bane will have to watch for. If he's caught by Battle Hunger and Arcane Curse, RR will melt to that DOT. And that's just going to scale up as the levels go up. Of course, a bot also has to worry about that. Not so much in the Battle Hunger, though, as he will have an easy time last hitting in. In the end, if your Bane is copying all the hits, your Ursa gets the farm, you're pretty happy with that for Execration.
Oh, certainly so. It's going to be a very painful experience here for RR, at the very least, with those double DOTs. Even just with the Curse of Avernus, it's just very annoying for the Bane to have to deal with. Of course, over in the mid lane, you've got Bob there with Mac. We talked about this laning phase quite a lot between these two. For now, Mac's not struggling too much, but Bob's got a lot of sticky napalm stacks applied to Mac. Mac looks like he'll just run out of range and eventually let them expire. The Bob is going to get one more at the end, but he's not going to be able to capitalize off Hasn't even gone for a skill point in the Firefly, nor the Flame Break yet. So just holding out for now. Mac, he'll happily just collect the Magic Stick charges. He's not too bothered by this whatsoever.
It's piling up. He's got 10 already. Halfway through a full stick, and Bob is just playing on edge, still holding on. But remember, with Wind Run, it's actually really hard to commit. That will lead to a more passive lane for the Batrider than I think you're used to seeing. Mac making this lane work out 13-2. Just having a good time.
Yeah, but bot lane, Natsumi, he ends up dropping here. Tino and BDZ able to secure the kill. Nice little pick up there from the off lane of Execration. And so far, a much better start for this dire end. Spoomy, of course, on the Monkey King is not really able to help Natsumi to try and be a little bit more careful. They certainly can get very aggressive with this off-lane duo.
Yeah, they've got a lot of damage to fly through. Good control, good potential with the skewer back. And I'm actually... Oh no, Natsumi.
Here we go again. Meanwhile, Bob goes down mid lane somehow, but Natsumi, he's in much bigger trouble. He'll go for a refraction. It is going to wear off. One hit away from dying, but he's going to make it out. In the meantime, Boomy, he's diving deep for BDZ, does manage to pick up the kill. There is kills happening all across the map. CML and RR both dropping at the top lane to boot. Just an absolute mess. But how in the hell did Bob die solo mid to a Wind Ranger?
I think we've seen Bob drop low against Mac. He just can't trade right clicks, right? Like, you come in, you build up these napalm stacks, but you can't really go for the right click plays. When you see Firefly, you just kind of commit the Wind Run, get away. He does get dragged back though.
Oh, Shackle does not land onto a tree, and Bob immediately getting his revenge, giving the tip back over to Mac. You know, had he landed that Shackles, he may have been able to get out, but a bit unlucky there with the angle.
Yeah, it's one of those things that happen. So the lane kind of bounces back for Bob. He does have a lot of CS to catch up with, and I think that's the one benefit of Batrider. You can play in the jungle, but there has been no stacks built up. So the flash farm for Bob is still going to take a bit longer. Mac, not going to be too dissuaded from that. You know, he just comes back in, full bottle up, to recharge the wand, and just get back to farming. Still really early aggression coming through. Polaris starting to find some trades in the end. Execration still ahead, 3-5, less than 1k lead. And all things considered, I think despite the mid lane going so well for Polaris, the other lanes aren't looking so swimmingly straightforward. Like, a bot is still farming up against this Axe. Tino is still building up much faster than Natsumi. I think that's the main pain point for Polaris. Natsumi's had a really rough start, behind in levels compared to Tino's Magnus, and this TA is gonna have to have a lot of stacks built up. But Execration are ready for that. They already have this early block on the triangle camps, and they're just gonna be able to kind of slow down the stacking here.
Yeah, absolutely. CML, he'll have to find out the hard way that sentry ward on the low ground is indeed blocking the camp. Bit of a tough one to find, but he is going to be within range. Very nice. Won't even have to deny off the sentry. So there you go. Nice little spot there from CML. Bottom lane. Bit of a chase here onto Boomy. Skewer won't really land by Tino, so Boomy's going to give the tip over. It looks like Boomy's going to be just fine. In the meantime, though, Tino's having another great game in the Magnus, at least thus far. He's forced out Natsumi from the bot lane. Oh, a bot, top lane. I guess he's not having a great time either. The DOT's still going, and what a power shot in from Mac. He just snipes him.
It's beautiful. Great kill, slowing down that Ursa. We were just talking about a bot having a pretty decent lane up top, considering that it was against an Axe. Dying kind of balances that out. So, still ahead of Natsumi so far, but you don't want to give kills like that away, especially to the Wind Ranger mid, who has already had a good time. Double damage on hand for Mac as well. Although, he's caught out here.
That Tracker Ray does land, but he's got Focus Fire, John. BDZ, he's not a very tanky target, so that'll be one easy kill. Bob, he's going to try and return the favor back the way of Mac. Can he get it though? Flame Break, it'll connect, but now Boomy, he'll keep going on towards Bob, but the Firefly damage is really starting to hurt, and Bob will find a double. Gives another tip back over to Mac. Although he had a terrible start on the Batrider, he is certainly finding a great way to catch up.
He's hitting his spikes, right? Like, he's getting levels up, level 7 now. Max Napalm, he does a ton of damage once 2-3 stacks are built up. And that is something we have to respect. Even managed to find Nico up top. A bot just managed to get that done by himself. Boomy, just a bit too late in the TP up. Can't really contribute, although he will jump in and poke a bot at least.
Yep. Bard will turn around. Oh, that's a lot of damage. Boomy, you got to be careful. Boundless is out. He's got the Jingu, but he cannot fight like this. He's going to have the brain sap. Nice easy kill on Boomy. Well, he kind of pokes the bear, John, and the bear woke up.
Yeah, it's a bit of a reckless kill to give out. Now you're giving that snowball start back towards Execration. Top 2 cores are on Execration's side. You have to remember there's this Empower on the Ursa that can fly through as well. So Bot is going to be splitting up a lot of his damage. And he is going to hit really hard once that diffusel's up. It's going to help him hold heroes down, melt their mana, prevent them from spellcasting. Whereas in comparison, Natsumi on the TA, still saving up for the Desolator. Not quite close to it yet. In fact, a long ways off. At least they take control of the triangle area again. There is a ward watching Natsumi farm, but Execration can't really poke just yet. So at the least, these first few stacks will go Natsumi's way. You still want to get control back here, though, and ensure that there's no vision going on from Execration, because they might still be able to run up there if they want to.
They may. I mean, Bob, he would have loved to make the rotation to that triangle, and I think he was hoping for a power rune at the top rune spot to be able to get there. Doesn't quite get one. So you've got RR around, and he is within XP range at the least, but Natsumi's going to see him, and now with the Nightmare out, that'll be a nice setup. This will be a lot of farm to go the way of Bob, as they are going to pick off Natsumi, or maybe not yet. He'll try to fight, but it's not going to be enough. So Bob, he'll go ahead and take all the stacks away. Nice and low for him as well. Nico, he's going to try and intercept. In fact, they're going to throw everyone in this to try and make sure he cannot get this farm.
No.
RR is in trouble, but they've got Pooby trapped up as well. In the end, it looks like it's just the main killers now. No, never mind. CML, he's going to drop as a Bard. Also joins in. Some creeps are still there, so Tino, he's going to rotate with a nice RP out into the lasso of Bob, and they'll find another. Creeps go to Execration.
And again, they can clear out really fast with a bot getting the Empower up. Lots of commitment from Polaris to try to defend, but their early power spikes just aren't there. They don't have a good angle for Nico to just come in, get a good call without the blink up, and Bot.
They're gonna try. Bot seems happy to fight, but decides better of it and does make a run now. You're gonna be very careful against the axe. You never know how unlucky you get with those spins. Of course, the Culling Blade is up and ready to go. So Bard looks like he'll rotate into the jungle and sort out his own farm there. So you look at that net worth graph though, John. 3 cores from Execration, all at the top. It's probably the perfect start, the best start you could have asked for. Mind you, they do have quite lane-dominant heroes, so you'd expect this to happen. But as long as they don't give this lead up, they're in for a good time, I'd say.
Yeah, they've got the answers on hand. They've got good team fight. For Polaris, they have a lot of heroes that can jungle, mainly the Axe and TA, so there might be limited space if they don't manage to find a tier 1 soon. Mac makes his way up top to look for that tower take. There is movement down bot, so the bot tier 1 is going to be taken by Execration, no contest. There is enough time to respawn up top if they want to force the fight as well, so it's not going to be a clear-cut defense. I think that is something Polaris will have to be cautious about, as, again, it's important for them to find a top tier 1 to give more space out for Nico and for Natsumi. And Execration should understand that. They could look to run up there, but Boomy's doing a good job of just jumping around, giving vision of the backline. So if a TP does come through, it's going to be sort of telegraphed here.
Yeah. The Execration just going to leave it. I think. I mean, you've got a siege creep up top, so Max just going to stick around. In the meantime, Execration, they're going to make their way over into that mid-tier 1 tower. You've got the Fiend's Grip up on RR, so you've basically got a free kill on your hands if you can land that. Bob, oh, he spotted out CML, it seems like. The way over, CML. Throw the curse out into the last word, and now a nice shackle from Mac. They lock down the Bat Rider. Bob's gone too far. The balance will lock him down long enough. And now with the global silence, they cannot turn. They'll still try onto Boomy, but he's well and truly out of there. And Execration, they'll have to accept Bob gone.
Nice big kill. Bob just diving a bit too deep, not respecting the turnaround play from Polaris. And they get the good punishment they want. There's still a double smoke coming through from the two supports, RR, BDZ. Maybe looking to flank the long way around. It looks like the moment has passed and just get some good deep wards out. Still, space being bought out for a bot. The jungle diffusal blade almost done. Once you've got that inhibit up, you should be able to start to really rip in and get some slows, get some good kills. Woody and Power running. Polaris, it's a stall game for them. They just want the TA to be farmed. They need this Desolator up. They're going to need the BKB Blink as well. Just more time Natsumi has to keep soaking up farm. They will at least hit the blink timing on Nico soon. And Polaris will go for a double smoke with Mac and CML. Yeah, not quite. Oh, they find RR at least.
Well, he's going to break the smoke here for Mac and actually almost gets away, it looks like. Yeah, Nightmare's there. It's more than enough. Tino, he's going to move in, trying to find a target to skewer back. Not really going to get too lucky, as he doesn't really have the blink to be able to get in range to get the skewer back in time. But going to move in. Spot out Nico, but that's an axe. Not going to be too fast of a kill here, so we'll leave him be. So they're just going to back off and try to reposition for this mid-tier 1. In fact, never mind the mid-tier 1. They're just going to leave. In the meantime, Nico's got a blink on the way, and CML's brought a smoke up. Looks like they want to try and go for the surprise reveal here with the axe. There you go. Who do they find, though?
Dire are scanning.
Oh, it looks like it might be Bob. Heading up top. Bob's the only one around. Does he read the movement and get the hell out in time, though?
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
They don't really have wards in the triangle area, so it's always a bit of a risk. But he does play it safe, pulling back instead, sensing that something's wrong. No one's showing mid for that easy farm. So that does sort of telegraph that move, and looks like the smoke isn't quite going to pan out. Bob, going to be safe. He has travels up. He can just kind of bail out. And that should give Execration a bit of an opening if they want to. They are still rushing, though.
Mid lane, Mac. Tino, he wanted to go for that RP, but wasn't quite in range.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
In the meantime, Natsumi finally has that Deso up now, so a bit more damage to fly out from our Templar Assassin. In the end, this smoke definitely just doesn't work out. Execration, count their blessings. You're having a great time with this Ursa. He still has that Empower buff going, so his farm is just going really rapidly here, and they're going to go for a big smoke up toward that top lane. They seem to know that Polaris is there. However, Bob, he's been caught out with a call. Can they burst him in time? Last words there with the curse. It looks like they'll have the damage. Bob, he's trying to run, but it's not quite enough. Nico, he'll take him down. Maybe they turn here again. Light Strike Array going to be off the mark. Nico, he'll blink. Meanwhile, a Bart does reveal himself from the back, but Mac's going to move in with a Focus Fire. And Rage is going to be forced out. You might be able to re-engage with a big call here. Nico, he's trying to find it. They'll make the jump in on the Ursa. There's your call out. Nightmare is going to buy a bit more time, but no, he's going to drop. They do get the kill they wanted. In fact, they're going to find even more. RR and BDZ being trapped up. There goes Yelena. Tino, he'll TP out. RR will try to make his way through the tree line, but there's no running. Max got him. And that net worth lead we talked about not losing has officially been lost.
It's a huge swing for Polaris, getting a ton of free kills that I don't think Execration really could afford to give out. Opens up a bit of a shove in if they want to as well. They do manage to find out tier 2. Would open up the outpost, but Natsumi's not interested. Just goes back to farming, wants to play it safe. And that entire smoke now from Execration, they don't get Roshan. I think if they just bailed out, allowed Bob to fall, they could have taken Rosh instead. Would have been a different story. Instead, they forced the fight, get punished for it. And Polaris are suddenly back in the game. And they have tools to play with. They've got these good spikes. However, Tino does have his blink. So Magnus can line up for the blink screw backs, and oh, Mac.
Speaking of Bob, he just got the blink off his courier. Mac, he was trying to snipe that courier, but doesn't quite get it. He wants to just try and run, but there's no running. He'll just throw a power shot out. Try and clear the creep wave. It's a great timing for Bob with that blink tagger coming out. And like you mentioned, Tino has his own one now. So it seems like Execration are well and truly ready to go for another big team fight. You haven't got the lasso, but I mean, even just the RP, the Fiends group, it should be enough. They'll try to force that team fight in this mid-tier 1 tower. See if Polaris take the bait. Nino, he's been very patient with this mag. Boomy drops top lane, but that doesn't matter too much as he moves in now. CML, the only one caught. They got the call off, but it doesn't matter. They got a 2-man RP there, and now a Bart. He can turn around onto Nico. Even the Fiend's Grip on Natsumi, but no, never mind. They're going to turn. They get the Ursa down. Natsumi, he'll keep moving forward onto BDZ, but Bob is going to have the damage to get rid of the TA. Still a very favorable trade for Execration.
4 for 1. Managed to take that mid-tier 1 as well. With the Ursa dead though, they can't go Roshan. So I think that's the downside there for Execration. Polaris does manage to at least get something from that exchange. Still not a very good time, losing basically every hero across the map. Execration, great reveal of their blinks there on Tino. And this is the point where it gets a bit scary for Polaris. They have to always be conscious of where the Magnus is at, track the blink angles, track where the skewers could come in, and they have to protect the silencer. So it's all down to CML being very patient with global silence. If he sees the Magnus, I think that's the right time for that GS. Before that point, you have to keep pocketing that spell.
Ara trying to abuse that shadow amulet, but they know exactly where he's gone, I'm sure. As the sentry does get dropped, Nico will be there with the call, and yeah, nice little Bane kill. Don't worry, Nico, nobody saw that missed call. No worries, sir. Natsumi now going to move into that Roshan pit. And you know, as Execration, you've got the Ursa. This is what you want to be doing. They're going to smoke up and try to get there in time, but it's too late. Do they still force the fight? It looks like they'll try to at least grab one. It'll be CML. Bit of a consolation prize here for Execration.
Yeah, they at least find a kill for the trouble, not a big one. And I think Polaris are still going to be satisfied with that. They have the second life on Natsumi. He's protected now in the TA. Execration, I think the big issue there was they didn't have RP. So Polaris knew they had an opening after that team fight to steal the Rosh away. TA still does great work in Rosh on the damage you have at this point. And you can just clean up. Execration, RP is back up on Tino. Still has that blink, still has the skewer. They've got the lasso in grip as well. So they can actually fight into that Aegis. I don't think the 2 lives on Natsumi is all too scary yet. If he doesn't have the BKB up, not very durable on that TA. So if you do kill him one time, you're probably going to be able to kill him again. I think that is something Execration can bank on. However, Polaris, they are smoked up, but they were trying to snap or camp out bot lane. No one's sticking around for that. And most of the rewards are up top, which are fading soon, so still might catch one bot.
Yeah, Bob, he's going to go for a lasso. He actually finds the Wind Ranger first, so... Well, Mac, he had the Wind Run going. Does save him for now. In fact, Wukong's going to come out, but a nice RP. Skill on back from Tino. He just always finds the angle, this man. You give him a Magnus, he'll just get it done for you.
He's just giving the goods out. The Filipino collapse almost. Just very consistent. Now, mind you, the last time we saw his Magnus, he was putting in a lot of good work, but they still didn't manage to find that win. Hopefully they keep that momentum here on Execration. Polaris starting to lag severely behind. 6k lead for Execration up as they are smoked up. Trying to be aggressive, good wraparound on high ground, could catch people out.
Oh, they've got Mac. You missed him last time, but this time around they've got him. In fact, they're onto the TA now. Natsumi's going to try and run. They've got at least a Nightmare on CML, but they really wanted that TA. It won't matter, though. Another kill for Execration. 7k net worth advantage. They are well and truly on their way to pulling off this game number 4 of the day for themselves. Still not out of the woods yet, though. You just got to be careful not to throw the lead back the way of Polaris. As we've seen them do over and over again today, unfortunately. This time around, it's looking pretty solid here for the Dire.
Yeah, they're just hitting these big spikes, playing really well. Tino's just setting up for them, delivering the goods. It's very durable now as well with the Guardian Greaves up. So the damage output of Natsumi is actually not enough to pierce through him. They're going to need a little bit more time to farm up on that TA. And to an extent, the Wind Ranger. Like, Max farm has stalled out. Does have to blink up on the Wind Ranger. Going for the Lincoln's next for protection. They are scouting out top. They know Tino's there. But...
Boomy.
He's in an awkward spot.
Yeah. Okay, Bob though is gonna find Mac again. He seems to be in love with this Wind Ranger. Mac is gonna try and fight back with the focus fire and might almost have it. In fact, they get the call off. They do get it in the end, but he's now there to fight against Boomy and the Monkey King. And they'll find one, they'll find two, and they might even find a third. Nico, he's going to try and get himself out with the call. It's not looking great for him. In fact, Tino, he'll skewer CML another time. CML just can't avoid this Magnus. So he would try to run. Tino's on the chase. He's probably just got him. CML, all he can do is buy time. Oh. And it's about fighting for the kill now between these two. BDZ will take it himself.
Yeah, they managed to find every single hero once more on Execration's side, finding the right kills. Natsumi does, you know, not get caught up in that fight, so the TA is still farming up, but for Polaris, they're just kind of throwing their bodies forward, hoping something sticks. None of it's sticking. You're starting to lag severely behind on this axe of Nico, behind even BDZ on the support Lena's farm. Like, your offlane axe is lagging behind the pause 4. That's not a good look. And levels-wise, Nico is also behind in levels to BDZ. So I don't think the axe is completely paying off here for Polaris. It's just difficult to get control with the call coming in, especially since if you call an Ursa anyway, backup has to be there ASAP because the Fury Swipes stack up and axe suddenly doesn't feel very tanky. And they're having issues with just that engagement. Like, their control on Polaris, they have good counterfight with Global Silence, they have good area denial with Wukongs, but Boomy's not really farmed up to maximize his Wukongs, and he still melts the Ursa. Your damage output on Natsumi is still slightly behind where you'd want it to be. The BKB is up for Natsumi, but that Daedalus needs to come out soon if they want to burst down that Ursa anytime soon.
There is a 3-man smoke here from Polaris. They're going to try again. And that definition of insanity, though, John, it hasn't worked the last few times. Execration just continue to grow this net worth lead that they do spot a Bart in the mid lane. Now he's got a BKB up, so he's more than happy to try and fight. Keep up with the team. Execration, they seem to be very well aware that Polaris is grouped up somewhere across the map, so they'll stick together. Just make sure that this Ursa does remain protected. In the end, Polaris, they won't make the jump in.
Yeah, I think that's kind of to their benefit. They're not finding good heroes to jump just yet. And Execration's doing a good job of just basically sticking as a unit, playing together, preventing any solo pick-off from coming through, which is where Polaris' draft really shines. You just go for the safe objectives, taking the top tier 1. Polaris, for their part, starting to push in that bot tier 1 as well. So going for a tower trade, getting what resources they can, and just hoping that they can keep this pace up. Maybe once the Crystal is up on Natsumi, that damage output starts to feel better. Even then, it just doesn't feel like they hit hard enough. Side of it, well aware.
Now they get a Bane kill. RR tries to make his way over to down in the bot lane and does get punished for it, so there's something for them. T1 towers are going to be traded at the opposing lanes as well. Polaris still very cautious here. Not trying to overextend against the draft of Execration, as they've had the answer every single time. It seems like Execration in particular are just waiting for this next Roshan. I mean, naturally, you're going to have the shards up as well on this next Roshan. For the Ursa, you'd love to see that shards. It's that constant enrage with the Earth Shock. It's just so hard to play against. Back mid, or rather top, they've got Mac again.
Yeah. With the Wind Ranger gone, you just lose a lot of your damage. Like, you need that focus bar to keep flying in. Even the shackle, it's like a key piece of control, because your stuns are limited on Polaris. What are your stuns? Like boundless shackles, and I guess call if you want to count that. None of them really amazing. Shackle's probably your most instantaneous form outside of Blink Call. And without the Wind Ranger, it just becomes harder to kind of line up these shots. So Execration, they find a good kill. Unfortunately for them, Roshan is 2 minutes 40 away. So they're not going to be able to instantly just dip into the Roche pit, use their Earth to clear it out. But they do have control of the map. They are just farming up and cutting off Polaris' scaling and just widening that network lead. 12k up at 27 minutes in. That is still significant, as Natsumi's about a full item behind a bot at the 3k difference. And this Ursa is just way too tanky up front, way too hard to control the heroes they have on hand. I don't know what Polaris can do to actually fix that. Like, you go Blink Call, your Axe is dead. It has to be like a perfect Blink Call, Shackle follow-up, Boundless follow-up, perfectly stacked, and that's so hard to pull off.
The bot lane, Lasso is there, they've got Boomy. There's no real way out for this Monkey King. Boomy gonna drop in the meantime though, another fight breaking out of Bart. He's quite deep at the moment. It's a fair bit of damage onto the Ursa, but Bob has made his way over now, and they might try to turn this one around. CML, he will go down. RR, he will also drop, but Mac has been targeted. Blade does connect, he might just burn out to the flame break damage, and he does. Bob, he wants more. He's got the Firefly back up. He will avoid the call from Nico. Blade Mail will do absolutely nothing. It's Natsumi. All he can do is hide in the trees and just hope they don't notice he's there. Just hope.
Just outside sentry range. He's going to be safe. They still don't have Roche. It's still a minute away, so Execration can't quite transition to the objective they want. They could go for the top tier too. In fact, they might see some stragglers here.
Yeah, they'll leave Natsumi for now. It seems like CML is the target they really want. They'll take him down. Oh boy, Light Strike Array. Just off the mark there from BDZ. Could have had a great secondary kill, but just so close yet so far. But they are still protecting that triangle area. That's what you want. They're just playing for Roshan right now, so it doesn't really matter, because the way this game's going, if Polaris can't contest this next Roshan, it's looking pretty rough for him.
Yeah, I mean, they're still getting items flowing on Natsumi. The Crystallis is up, the Daedalus not too far off. So the damage scaling is coming online, but that's only your TA. Everyone else has fallen behind on the Radiant side. There's no item scaling coming through for Mac. There's no item scaling at all for Nico. He's still level 14 on the Axe. And again, that's not good position. Here needs a lot of levels. Nico's behind even RR's levels now. RR is 15. Your Monkey King has more levels than your Axe at 15. So
Yikes.
The pick is just not paying off yet, and we need to kind of see the plays to come through. We need some big calls. In fact, at this point, I would take support calls just to kind of stop the Fiend's Grip from coming through. That's probably your best usage of that call now.
Roshan has been started apart, straight in. Polaris, they don't have much time to react, and it seems like they are not going to react at all. So Shard, Aegis, both going to go the way of this Ursa. Another nice power spike. Now you know that Execration, they want blood. They'll go find it. Oh, Burmese going to show up top. It is a Monkey King, to be fair, pretty hard to catch. Instead, they're going to head down bot, see if they can find somebody else around that area. And in fact, they've got Mac and Natsumi. This would be great if Bob can find it. Which target do you want, Bob? He'll take Mac. He wants the Wind Ranger first. And eventually they can go after Natsumi. But they also found a monkey. Boomy, he's going to survive for now. Gets the Wukong's command off, but they skewer right out. Back towards Natsumi. He'll go into the meld, but it won't matter. The RP is there. Onto the Monkey King they go. Boomy, he is not safe whatsoever. He'll drop. And where's the Bart? Who's he chasing? Oh, he's found another. They found Nico. CML, he can't do anything.
No. There's just not much he can contribute outside of GS. The Silencer went off to a really slow start. Doesn't have too much int built up as well, which is usually normal for a support Silencer, but once you have the value point in Blade, you kind of do hope that you get a couple of kills going. It's just been slow going for Polaris. Bot tier 2 going to be cleared out. They cut down the trees as well with Tino just to prevent any sort of TP plays. And they still hold the Aegis. So the high ground is still a big option here for Execration. They don't have RP, no Lasso, but just playing behind her Ursa might be enough because the bot is just so big right now. 22k net worth, 6k above Natsumi. It's nearly impossible to kill him off. He's got the Abyssal up, he's got a Bash on hand, he's got even more durability with that. They even get the Octarine up and running on Bob. So more uptime for his spells. Unfortunately, CDR stacking is no longer a thing. Otherwise, this would be a really good neutral for him with the Quickening Charm. But you still get a lot of value with the higher cooldown reduction on the Octarine. So a lot more going on here. And Polaris still not set up to fight against it. Their high ground defense isn't amazing as well. Right? It's basically limited to Call, Wukongs, and Global Silence. And it's just not enough. We see those spells come true, but they can't really play around them well.
Final outer tower now gone. Execration really cleaning up. You know they want to go high ground too with this Aegis. You've got the Blink, Hauntos, Skewer backs there for Tino. It's everything you could ask for. Polaris, they're just still trying to buy time for Natsumi. He's had a very rough game. And this TA just feels like he's been farming all the time, but just it hasn't transitioned to anything as Nico. Top lane gonna get dragged back by Bob. Execration now. Do you want to force it? Because you've got to wait for a creep wave first, I suppose. Never mind, Abart says screw that. I'm in.
Yeah, he can just get started by himself. He's very tanky with that Abyssal up. He still has the Aegis up for a minute 40. So the options are limited here. Oh,
here we go. Tino again with the Horn Toss, gets the RP off. Abart just deletes CML in the back. And they found the Wind Ranger. Not looking great here for Polaris. As the top racks will be taken. Natsumi now just TPing back. Does buy the Aghanim Scepter up. So still looking to try and defend this. The axe may not help so much in terms of this high ground defense. So Natsumi, he's just going to keep bouncing between lanes. That's about all he can do at the moment.
Just keep the farm game up, try to get what he can. Hope that the respawn's coming in. They can try to defend the rest of the racks, but it's just slowly going. The RP's going to be up in a minute 20, still a long ways off, but the lasso's back up, so Bob can just go for that relocation play once more. And the mid does fall. The last racks, they're still going to go for it. Nothing to stop Execration here.
Yeah, and another Horn Toss, even a lasso. They don't know what they want. They've just got too many options. Hell, even Boomy being caught out on the Monkey King. It might be about that time to call it. Buyback is there. This will be the last team fight here for Polaris if they can't pull this one off. The game is over, and look at the skewer. He breaks down the tree on Boomy. Are they going to jump in? Bob, he'll throw a flame break. Abart, he seems to really want CML. But no, they've got Boomy. That'll be a dieback. 5v3. Mega creeps on the way. And no Horn Toss that time. Tino, he gets a tip from Boomy.
Mega creeps are up though. Polaris gonna have to play against this onslaught. Natsumi can try to clear out, but it's only him who really has any play here left. Like, he's the damage carrier. He's the only guy that's farmed up. And they have to play perfectly. Again, Execration, they're not going to be shoved away by this. And it's been long enough that RP is back up on Tino. So, no worries. Execration, 37k up. They could break that streak, Mike. Gonna end the night with at least one win if things stay this way.
Absolutely. 37k net with advantages. Very, very nice to see here for Execration. Go to plus. Sitting at 100% right now. I tend to agree. Jackal's there. Bob. Not really going to take too much damage. Boomy giving the tip over to his own teammate. Horn Toss, he's got two targets. They've got CML, but the global silence is there, and Natsumi, he did blink out in time, but what does it matter? Look at the damage output. Shackles out, but there's your RP into the skewer back, Natsumi. You got away once, you won't get away the second time. GG's called. Execration, they at least pick up one win before the night is over. now they can go to bed peacefully.
Yeah, they don't have to keep playing Dota until they find a win. They do manage to close out the night that way. Polaris do close out as well with a 4-1. So in a best of, it would have been nice to see them go 5-0 and just basically say they literally won a best of 5 by going 5 games and winning all of them. But Execration do put a lid on it. I think for Polaris, a couple of the issues came out from the support duo. I think Boomy on the Monkey. Well, the Monkey King is very effective for. It doesn't feel like it fit Boomy's playstyle, right? Like the Monkey King has to be all over the map, kind of scouting out. And what Boomy tends to do on his 4 is sort of take jungle space, take a lane to farm up. This time he had to be more proactive on a Monkey. They didn't have the follow through to make the Monkey King's information work. And their lane matchup wasn't that amazing as well. Like Axe into Ursa was a rough time for Nico. We saw him just basically be behind pretty much the entire game. And in fact, at some point, just being behind in levels as well. So I think the draft didn't pay too many favors to Polaris. Execration mentioned come out with so much control coming through. Tino delivering the goods once more on his man, going 2-0-28. Very active, very effective. And it's a good showing from Execration. Hopefully we see more of this Execration in the rest of their games coming forward.
Hopefully, John. Well, with that, though, that is it for the night. It is currently 3:15 in the morning, so I think it's about time for you and I to go to bed. So with that, it is MLP Dota and johnxfire, and it's been an absolute pleasure. We'll see you all again tomorrow for some more great SCA Dota. See you then.